I call the member for Wright.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. And I rise today to speak on the Migration Legislation Amendment, Offshore Processing and Other Measures 2012 that is currently being debated before the House. And I take the opportunity to associate myself with some of the comments earlier of my colleagues, and particularly the leader, Tony Abbott. This is an emotional debate, Mr Speaker. It's a sensitive debate and a situation that we need to approach with a common sense approach. But I ask, what I've been asked to do is to reduce the time of my speech back to 5 minutes so that we can let other members get through and put their comments on the record. So with the time available to me, I want to ask us as a parliament to challenge ourselves as to how did we get here? How did we get to this point where we had such a breakdown in policy, such an enormous... What was motivating the decision makers? Was it pride, or was it polls, or was it what? What was the motivator that continued this parliament to allow lives to be lost, senseless lives to be lost at sea? I don't know the answer to that, but I think we need to have a good look at ourselves and the way that this matter's been handled. We are a kind nation. We are a generous nation. You know, we do our heavy lifting when it comes to taking people. But you know, there were comments made in this parliament by members greater than I that said that we will decide who comes to this nation and under what circumstances they come. We will decide that. And with those decision-making policy decisions, we were able to keep our borders protected. We were able to save lives. And I do not want this parliament, and I'm going to keep reiterating it through the short minutes that are available to me, that nearly 1,000 lives have been lost. And for what? And for what measure or for what gain? The Malaysian deal, the 5-for-1 swap, I sort of half get that. I sort of understand the intent of the policy behind that in trying to act as a deterrent. But it was fundamentally flawed because of an expert committee, an expert panel, in the way of a High Court decision that said that couldn't happen. The reason I raise that is because throughout this debate we have been too flippant and too quick to reach out and grasp onto these catch cries of expert panels and expert advice. Well, guess what? It's all been wrong. Just about every expert advice, other than the eminent advice that we've received of late, has been proven to be wrong. Not one apology. They'll probably actually get some promotions, and sure as anything, there may even be some more money in their budget for them. But ultimately, the decision that was given to this parliament, to this government, from so-called experts to this day, was proven to be wrong. And the evidence I give to support that the evidence was wrong is that people died. People died. This is an issue that Australian people want fixed, and in my electorate, people come up to me and they say, you've got to stop the boats. You've got to stop the boats. And those who are most passionate and emotional about trying to stop the boat are our newer Australians. There is a real emotion that they have done the right thing to get here. They have done the right thing to get here by coming through a front door. You know, they are proud new Australians. You know, they are the ones in my area, generations of farmers, Germans, Scottish, Italians, Vietnamese, Greeks. They are the ones that are most motivated, most vocal in my community, saying to me, please stop the boats, because they saw what happened in their countries with poor immigration policy. We hear now the cries that we should put from we hear the cries from the government that we should put politics aside in this debate. Well, this is the Parliament of Australia and it's all about politics. Everything in this place is about politics, because that's what we do. It is all about politics. And if it wasn't about politics, you wouldn't have heard the comments earlier on from our Prime Minister that no rational person, and I put it as highly as that, the Prime Minister said, would suggest that in 10 or 20 years we would still be processing asylum seeker claims on Nauru. And you've heard from previous speakers, and I don't want to go down that track again because you get the gits. But do not be so flippant to think that it's not about politics. It is. Mr. Speaker, this is a sensitive issue. I take the opportunity in closing to thank the government for what would have been a difficult decision to accept the recommendations from the Houston Committee. My hand on my heart, hopefully we've turned the corner, and I take the opportunity to thank the government for moving us in a positive step forward in hopefully saving some more lives. Thank you.